So students who stand out to me are both curious about what they're learning, but then also are responsible learners. So to be a responsible learner, you can do this in a couple of ways, but first and foremost, be prepared for class. So show up with all of your reading assignments read, any videos you were supposed to watch, have them watched, finish any assignments or homework before you come to class. And then when you're in class, like, be ready to take notes. And if you're that prepared, then you can be engaged and ask questions in class, and that's awesome.
I think the best way to stand out to your instructor is to be involved. Whether doesn't necessarily mean you sit in the front row or the back row, but be involved. If you have a question, ask the question, volunteer to answer questions that are asked in class. Something that makes you different than the rest of people, that you really are looking for increasing your knowledge base, looking for a connection to the subject being taught.
Students stand out to me when they're engaged learners, and that can include being on time, being in your seat, having your phones put away, being prepared with your homework and having questions, having good discussions with your classmates and myself, nodding your head once in a while, and having a smile on your face, because after all, this is where you want to be and this is what you want to learn.
Preferred email etiquette begins with a salutation such as hi, hello, good morning, good afternoon. One thing I like to tell students is that please, if you have a concern about something or you're upset about something, wait 24 hours before you send off that email, and then have someone proofread it before you do to make sure that the grammar and punctuation is perfect, that what you're wanting to say is coming across in a non-offending tone. Also, ending your emails with a thank you or kind regards is also professional, and instructors appreciate that.
When it comes to email, there's some things I like to talk to my students about. Number one is that I accept email only on the WITC website. So I realize that you might have a variety of email accounts, but for me and this class and this campus, you need to use your WITC website to communicate. Also, what sometimes can be a problem is that I don't know what class you're talking about or what assignment you're talking about when you shoot me a question. And that's easily fixed by putting something in the subject line that refers to either the class and or the assignment, so that I know specifically what your question is referring to. Keep in mind that as instructors, we teach a variety of classes, and in order to know specifically what help you need, we need some detail. Also, I want to add that when you are writing a message via email, please take the time to write complete sentences and to use punctuation and capitalize your I's, and don't use a lot of abbreviated or acronyms in your email. Keep it a professional communication so that we both are on the same page.
Concerning email etiquette, one item that I always touch on is be sure and use the subject line. I know you've probably heard that before in your communications class, but actually having a subject line is helpful especially for instructors, because we do get a lot of emails both from our administration and from students. And when we see that subject line, it's helpful for us to prioritize it. Another thing about instructor email is to use a friendly greeting and a friendly closing. Oftentimes we'll get what sound like commands from students, and nobody likes that. So a little good morning, a little how are you, and then a thank you at the end is appreciated. Finally, use capital I's and don't put a small u instead of YOU. You want to practice your formal writing in emails to instructors, and that will be appreciated.
As an instructor, I found that there are a lot of ways to maintain appropriate relationships with me. Some of them are letting me know when you're going to be late or absent via email or some other form of communication. Others are to let me know when things are happening in your life that might take you off the path a little bit, and so I can understand what you're going through. No, the bottom line is that communication is important, and as an instructor, I care about what's happening in your life. And that's the only way that I can support you and help you do best in the classroom.
So when you're a student of mine, I think a good way to maintain a relationship is to just ask questions. asking questions in class is a really good way of doing that, but also if you have questions about your assignment or reading, asking questions with an email is also a good way to maintain a relationship with an instructor. Another fun way is if you just happen upon a cool video or an article that you read, share that with me. Send it to me in an email, let me have a chance to review it, and then it might be something that we'd want to bring up in class.
Okay, I have a couple pet peeves. I'm going to start out with the big one. First of all, I feel it's very important to have a respectful environment in my classroom. And so when students are not being respectful of me, that's a pet peeve of mine. If you're having sidebar conversations, if you're on your telephone, if you're texting, that to me is not respectful. But even more importantly, I am concerned when you are behaving in such a way that it affects your classmates and you're not respecting their opportunities to learn in this classroom climate. So that's a big pet peeve for me. I need everybody to be respectful of each other in this classroom environment. Secondly, if you happen to miss a class, and in my case I teach 3-hour classes, if you happen to miss a class, what I don't want to hear from you via email or face-to-face is, "Hi Jamie, I wasn't here last week. Did I miss anything?" And my answer would always be, yes, of course you missed something. We had a 3-hour class. So please know that there are ways to find that information and to assume that if you are not in class, there's going to be something that you missed and you're going to have to work either through your peers or through myself or online to research what you missed, and you're going to have to make up some things.
Okay, so my biggest pet peeve, other than cheating, because that's a big one, is when students come to class and allow themselves to be distracted. And usually it's not like a sidebar conversation with a student. That sometimes happens, and I get that, that's human nature. But when students allow themselves to be distracted by media, right? So in my classroom I have dual monitors for all the computers. And to have work on one monitor, usually there's work on both monitors, but sometimes students will bring up something else on the second monitor. And it could be social media, it could be a video, and it's bizarre that, to me, I just don't understand why a student would pay tuition, take time to come to class, and then not engage in the class. As soon as you're distracting yourself, you're not present anymore. So I think that's really harmful. The other thing is phones. It's really important to have the phone off the desk someplace so you're not being distracted by notifications or emails or texts.
General words of wisdom: be organized, use good time management, schedule yourself out. Also, make a study plan and a study schedule so that you can organize your free time, your family time, your school time, your work time. Also, ask your family to help you with chores around the house so that you can be successful and not be worrying about what needs to be done at home when you can focus on your school studies. Thank you.
So I have a couple of things that always drift through my brain when I get asked about giving words of advice, is that one of them is to always expect the unexpected. If you get up in the morning with a plan for your whole day in mind, and one little thing goes wrong, it can ruin the whole day. But if you get up going, okay, today's a new day, this is what I think is going to happen, but I'm going to plan for unexpected things to happen, you will function way better. Whether it's the computer didn't work, the teacher was late, you were late, you got a flat tire, all these different unexpected things that could ruin your day. If you make up your mind that there's going to be something unexpected during the day, then you will better be able to handle those things when they show up. Another thing that a wise old man told me once is to say what you mean what you say, but don't be mean when you say it. So think about what you want to really say, try to say it, and try to say it in a respectful manner.
Is that you need to keep your attitude positive. If you have a positive attitude and you go into a situation you're in an unknown situation, or the class is challenging, or you feel like you're underwater with whatever's happening, just realize that a positive attitude can help get you above water, and it can help you in the right direction to possibly seek help from the people that can really support you. And we're here to support you.
My words of advice include that this is your education, so make of it what you will. Too many times students will come in and expect the institution or their instructors or their classmates to make their education for them. This is, the institution is here, the instructors are here, the information is here, but you have to go and get it. You have to want to get it. So don't wait for your education to come to you. Don't make excuses. Sometimes institutions screw up. They're a big place. Your name might not get on a list or something like that, but don't let that be an excuse for you not completing your program.
Most students who come to WITC come into a program with curiosity about that subject. So in general, like a big one for me is like be curious about the world you're in. But I think you're already, as students, coming in with some curiosity, but maintain that. I mean, you're learning new things every day, so try to constantly be engaged and be curious about the subject that you're learning about. But then taking it a little bit farther, being organized helps you stay curious. Being organized and keeping up with your classes helps. And then in the long range, start thinking about your future. Like, where do you want to go with the studies, with the things that you're learning here? Because there's lots and lots of opportunities. But the more front-end planning and thinking and dreaming you do about that and putting that into action, the better off you'll be.
Advice to students would be, the first thing that comes to mind is ask for help if you need it. The support system here is unbelievable. There, between your instructors, the LRC staff, student supports services, counseling staff. If you need help, it is available here. There's so many resources to draw from. So at any moment, if you feel you need help with anything, questions, or just with academics, anything, I would say stop and ask for help.
So if you want to get a passing grade in my classes, all you have to do is show up to class every day and do your homework, and you will pass the class, and you'll probably even get a better than just a passing grade. And then the other thing I always tell them, if you're not going to do these, treat it like a professional job. Contact me, either email me or call me, or however you want to do it, and let me know why you were gone, and then you'll be fine. That's it.
Perfect.